Right now everyone, including myself, is obsessed with aim routines, improvement-focused content, and finding the settings that give you even the slightest advantage. But there's one thing that gets completely overlooked. It doesn't matter if you've got the cleanest mechanics or the most premium mousepad. If you jump straight into the game, I can tell you right now, you're gonna whiff the pistol round. I miss! Not feel your movement properly because of the lack of confidence and spend the next 30 minutes warming up mid-match. So today, I want to fix that. I'll give you 3 completely different ways to warm up. I'll break down the pros, cons, and exact routines so we can find the one that suits you. Each routine takes about 15 to 20 minutes, so if you say you don't have the time to warm up before your games,
stop the cap!
And stick around until the end for a few tips to make your warm-ups even more effective. Deathmatch. This is actually the only one out of all 3 where I don't have a strict routine to follow. I just hop in and work on everything at once. So here's what I want you to do. Set a timer for 15 to 20 minutes. Join a deathmatch server and play like it's an actual game. And by that I mean don't just rely on raw aim or chase the highest KD. This is irrelevant. Instead, focus on the small things that actually make you consistent. Your crosshair placement, gunfight movement, so counter strafes, crouch tapping, and recoil control. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the routine. I told you that it's not going to be structured, and now let's move into who should actually use this routine to get better. For pros of the deathmatch routine, it's super realistic compared to the actual match. And I mean, it simulates game pressure pretty well. And like I talked about in the beginning, it's great at practicing everything at once. Movement, spray control, just micro mechanics in general. And let's be honest, we all know that you want to be the next donk, so that's exactly what you want to train. And it forces pretty hard focus, since if you zone out, no kills for you, and you're going to be either frustrated or have low confidence. And that's actually part of the problem. It's more mentally draining than the other options. If you get tilted or frustrated before your match, it can easily backfire and set you off on the wrong foot. And trust me, it's only downhill from there. Why might you get tilted, you ask? Well, on DM there is quite a bit of downtime, meaning you're pretty much wasting your time when people kill you in the back, when you get spawn killed a couple times in a row, or when you walk around to find enemies for a certain amount of time and everyone runs away from you because you smell. Stuff like that can get very quickly on your nerves, or at least on my nerves. It's also pretty easy to develop bad habits if you just run around brainlessly chasing kills instead of focusing on why you're actually there, which is to warm up. And if you're still new to the game and haven't fully nailed the fundamentals yet, I would honestly recommend staying away from deathmatch for now. It's not that it's bad, it's just too chaotic to digest everything at once for a newer player. In that case, you'll probably improve faster with routines 2 or 3, which I'll show you in a minute. Now, not necessarily as a warm-up trick, but if you want to improve faster using deathmatch, here's one thing I would recommend. Play without sound. Seriously, try it. You'll be forced to rely purely on your game sense and intuition, and once you turn the sound back on, it will feel like you just unlocked cheat codes. Now of course, during real matches, you actually want to hear every footstep and gunshot as clearly as you can. If you want the best audio possible for gaming, there's only one thing I recommend. Let me tell you about Sonar, a completely free audio software from SteelSeries. Its advanced parametric EQ lets you fine-tune your sound so you hear everything with insane accuracy. You can even separate game audio from voice chat for a perfectly balanced soundscape.
And if your mic sounds like total garbage,
Sonar also got you covered. And yes, it works with any headset. Sonar even comes with presets made with pro players, so you don't need to waste hours tweaking settings. Just pick your game of choice and you're done. I've been testing it in CS2 and honestly, the difference is actually noticeable. Wait, this is insane. What? With Sonar, there's no excuse for missing a sound cue. Download it right now using my link in the description and start experimenting. And if you're looking to upgrade your setup too, use code Biley20 for 20% off everything on the SteelSeries website. Big thanks to SteelSeries for sponsoring this video, and now let's continue with routine number 2, which is the next donk warm-up. If donk actually used aim trainers, I guess. This one is really simple because you've already got a ready playlist to use, so you don't have to overthink anything here. The actual playlist is provided by Minigod, a top aim trainer, so you already know that this thing is legit. The name of the playlist is the Valorant Ramp Warm-Up. First of all, please don't get discouraged by the name having Valorant in it. I know that we all hate Valorant and it completely sucks, but trust me, it does wonders for CS2. And second of all, those of you who are into sports might recognize what the acronym RAMP stands for. Raise, Activate, Mobilize, and Penetrate. Potentiate, sorry. The whole methodology and reasoning behind using it as a warm-up for playing games is explained in the actual document, so I highly recommend reading through it. Here, we'll just focus on the actual routine. And the routine, I can't lie, it's nice. I actually feel warmed up after it, and the scenarios constantly change, which I personally love because it keeps it fresh and never boring to play in the moment. For the pros of this option, honestly, there are a few big ones. First, it's probably the most efficient way to wake up your aim. There's no downtime at all, and you'll feel locked in within minutes. Second, it's super customizable. If you don't enjoy certain scenarios, you can just swap them out for different ones and target exactly what you want. And hey, it's free aim training as well. Can't really complain about that, right? Now for the cons, there's really only one main thing I would say. It doesn't simulate the real game. I know that might sound obvious, but when there's no need to warm up your counter strafes, peaks, movement, etc., I tend to be very skeptical about it. And as you've seen in the deathmatch routine, and as you'll see in the next one, in my humble opinion, this stuff matters a ton. Sorry for the pause, but I'm trying to hit 20,000 subscribers by the end of the year. So if you're enjoying the video, I would really appreciate it if you subscribed. Also, join my Discord to find my aim routines, Twitch stream schedule, and much more. Thank you so much for the support. Okay, now for my personal favorite, I call this one the Introvert's Warm-Up. That's right, we're going to be using workshop maps. Personally, I stick to the classics, aimbots and fast aim/reflex training. This is the most structured routine I have. My goal here is to warm up movement, specifically counter strafes, and focus on static scenarios like flicking. So the first thing I do is disable all sectors except for one. Sure, you can have all of them enabled and do it this way, but 90 degrees is enough, and I believe it will get you warmed up quicker. For the first 5 minutes, I focus on bursts combined with counter strafes. So the goal here is to hit one target, move to a nearby one and hit it as well. Then move to the other side and do the same thing. Burst, another close burst, switch sides. And again, do this for 5 minutes straight. Once I feel my counter strafes are warmed up and I'm getting more confident, I move into tapping and spraying. The most important rule here is to never stop moving while tapping. What I mean is, time your counter strafe perfectly so you're accurate for just a split second, tap, and instantly move again. This concept is a bit more advanced, so if your technique doesn't look like mine yet, don't worry at all. Do everything you see here at your own pace, and if it's still too difficult, just do normal counter strafes and taps. Usually, I try to get 3 clean taps in a row, then stop and do a full spray. And when it's done correctly, it should look really fluid, like this. So that's aimbots done, and now let's move to fast aim/reflex. By this point, your counter strafes should already be almost ready to go. So now it's time to focus on tracking. For the next 5 minutes, sit in the middle of the box and try to track your target for a few seconds, then burst for the clean kill. If your tracking isn't developed properly yet, this part might look a bit shaky, but that's actually a good sign. It just means you've found something to improve.
You can improve your tracking with my playlist on Discord, I'm just saying.
Once you get the kill, try to flick to the nearest target. Just a warning, sometimes the next one won't even be visible, so you'll end up doing a few blind flicks. That's fine, just use those moments to sharpen your reaction time. After another 5 minutes of doing this, I usually start queuing Face It and use the remaining few minutes to walk close to walls just to get a feel for clean peaks and not overthinking anything else. And that's it for the introvert routine. Now let's talk about its pros and cons. For the pros, it's definitely one of the most time-efficient ways to warm up. You load in, shoot bots, and you're done. It's also super chill. You can go completely at your own pace, there's no pressure to top the leaderboard or impress anyone. But again, this lack of any pressure can work against you. There's just simply no chaos, so it's not a perfect reflection of a real match. And yes, it can get boring really quickly. So if you find yourself zoning out after a few minutes, play some music or hop on a call with your friend to get some company. Anything to keep it a bit more fun. Now still, despite all that, for me, this one remains unbeatable. It helps me lock in really quickly. And after all, that's exactly what you want from a warm-up routine. Alright, before we wrap this up, here are the promised quick tips that will make your warm-up even more effective. First, understand that warming up isn't about improving. You're not trying to completely reinvent your aim or improve mechanics here. You're just getting your body and mind ready for the game. So don't overanalyze your misses, don't chase perfection, Just focus on feeling smooth and confident. Second, build a quick pre-warm-up routine. I've shared this a few times already on this channel, but for me, it's stretching my neck, wrists and fingers before even touching the mouse. It takes maybe 2 minutes, but it makes a massive difference for me being comfortable in my hand-eye coordination. And third, try to move a little before you sit down. Walking your dog or even a short walk around the room, stretching your arms or anything to get some blood flowing will help you feel less stiff and make your reactions snappier. And that is it. Those are the 3 warm-ups I personally use the most and the exact way I go through each one. Try them out, see which one clicks for you, and please remember, it's not about copying my exact settings or routines, it's about finding your own rhythm before the game starts. Subscribe for more content that will help you improve, and as always, keep grinding.